I've been to the principal's office before, but never like this.
I made us tea.
Descendants: The Rise of Red has brought back the franchise in full force, rebooting the beloved series with new heroes, villains, and stories for the audience to enjoy. While many of the characters are new, there are a handful of characters from the latest film that fans have loved and would love to see return in the next installment, which Uma foreshadows during the final scene. In today's video, we'll discuss 5 characters who deserve to become recurring characters in the franchise due to their circumstances, relevance, and audience popularity.
Where I come from, there's a rule against all of this.
Who's against fun?
Number 1. Uma. Uma made waves when she debuted in Descendants 2, with many fans attributing the film's success to her character and musical numbers. She's by far one of the most popular characters in the franchise, and for good reason. While Uma was once an antagonist, she has good intentions, desperate to free herself and the other villain kids from the Isle, where their lives were far from good. The audience can't help cheering for her, although she's actively placing characters like Mal and Ben in precarious situations. She makes a full-fledged comeback in Descendants 3, where she reunites with Harry and Gil before the 3 pirates surprisingly join forces with Mal to defeat Audrey, although the 2 groups find themselves at odds more than once. Uma proves herself to be a capable leader, capable of making tough decisions. She also knows every child deserves a chance to prove themselves, so she's the perfect candidate for Auradon Prep's new principal. In Descendants 4, she's moving into her new office with some crewmates' help. Her first order of business is to extend an invitation to the lone villain kid who was left behind when the barrier to the Isle came down, Red, who had spent her entire life within the Forbidden Wonderland. When the Queen of Hearts later stages a coup, Uma quickly draws her sword and defends the school. But she has no choice but to stand down to keep the others safe. Although she'll certainly return in future films, longtime fans hope she'll have a more significant role than brief scenes and cameos.
She and Ben finally opened up the Isle. They gave all villains a second chance.
Number 2. Maddox. Now that the Descendants franchise has essentially rebooted itself, a new cast of supporting characters will slowly debut throughout the films, introducing new characters who will help or harm Red throughout her many adventures. One of her allies has already made a brief appearance at the beginning of Descendants 4. The son of the infamous Mad Hatter, Maddox doesn't appear as aloof and eccentric as his father. However, he did inherit his creative streak, as Maddox works for the royal family as an inventor and Red's tutor. Red mentions she is homeschooled in the film, meaning she and Maddox may have known each other for a long time, possibly allowing him to fill a paternal or mentor-oriented role in her life. Maddox is keenly aware of Red's situation and how unhappy she is in Wonderland. He hates that she's received such a wrong lot in life, with a cruel mother who barely seems to care for her. His sympathy for Red makes him reveal the pocket watch, although he rethinks his decision and claims she isn't ready to use it. Although Red steals the watch immediately, Maddox doesn't mention that it's missing the following day. Therefore, if he knew she took it, he allowed her to take it to Auradon Prep. He may have suspected the Queen of Hearts of staging a coup or doing something equally devious. A few warnings scattered throughout the film concern how changing the past can have unforeseen consequences for the present. Now that Red and Chloe have successfully altered the past, they may find that their lives have changed in significant ways, leading them to seek the guidance of Maddox, who may know how to help them fix their mistakes. They could travel to Wonderland to meet him, or he may take on a teaching position at Auradon, allowing him to keep tabs on Red while flourishing in an environment where his skills are better suited.
If you continue down this path, I won't always be there to save you. You know that, right?
Maddox Hatter, you know you can't save me.
Number 3. Bridget. The audience has many scenes where they meet the Queen of Hearts. She's a callous, cruel, and unpredictable ruler who harshly punishes people who don't meet her standards. She's true to the many other iterations of her character inspired by Alice in Wonderland. It's no surprise that Red feels desperate to escape her life with her mother, seeking a fresh start at Auradon Prep. However, her luck changes when she travels into the past with Chloe Charming and has the opportunity to help her mother remain the loving and optimistic person she is during her formative teenage years. Known solely as Bridget in the past, her pastel pink aesthetic contrasts the deep red she surrounds herself with as an adult. Her appearance reflects her personality, as she's a much softer person who manages to remain kind in the face of adversity, which, according to Ella, takes significant strength and willpower to accomplish. Bridget's sole goal throughout the film is to enjoy her time at Merlin Academy, including attending Castlecoming with her best friend. The audience has most of the film to know Bridget, admiring her never-ending optimism. However, they don't see who she becomes as an adult and a parent without the life-altering experience of Uliana's prank. Her only scene as a good Queen of Hearts is during the film's final scenes, and her fans would love the opportunity to see her in future installments, leading Wonderland with a kind heart and good intentions.
You're Bridget? Bridget from Wonderland?
Number 4, Ella. Everyone knows Cinderella as the rags to riches princess. However, now that she's an adult, she appears as a wise, loving, and compassionate royal who treats her children with a kindness she never received. One of the earliest examples is when she gifts Chloe a pair of glass boots solely for good behavior, rewarding her for leading by example and doing the right thing whenever she gets the chance. However, the audience and Chloe have the opportunity to meet the true Ella from long before she received her happy ending. Ella introduces herself to Chloe as a commoner and has no intention of hiding her status among her peers. She's apprehensive of the royals who attend Merlin Academy because they treat her differently. However, no one realizes the full extent of Ella's circumstances until Red and Chloe visit her at home, where her outfit is self-made out of old clothes. She's cleaning her entire home alone, and she's harshly punished when a vase is accidentally broken. Although Cinderella and Charming always raise their children to do the right thing, Ella in the past has different opinions about one's behavior and necessity. She tells Chloe that someone may need to get their hands dirty when necessary, working hard to protect themselves and the ones they love. She specifically claims there isn't anything she wouldn't do to save a life, which convinces Chloe to break into Merlin's office. Whether Chloe returns to the past or views her mother in a new light, Ella's return in the next film would add a fresh and unique perspective to the narrative.
Unacceptable.
But I said I was sorry.
Well, sorry doesn't buy me a new vase.
Now does it?
Number 5, Uliana. Although the Queen of Hearts appeared as the main antagonist in Descendants 4, Red and Chloe had more run-ins with the villains who attended Merlin Academy, specifically Uliana and her friends, who appear incredibly loyal to one another. Like Uma, Uliana leads her friends into numerous schemes and adventures, including getting back at Bridget for the flamingo feathers that transformed her into a bird in front of the entire school. Uliana may be a classic bully, but her personal motivations influence her decisions. According to Ella, Uliana is Ursula's younger sister, who had already graduated from Merlin Academy and left behind a legacy to live up to. Uliana wants to be better than her sister, gloating about dealing in souls and not hesitating to steal the Forbidden Sorcerer's cookbook from Merlin's office. However, her plans are foiled by Red and Chloe, resulting in Uliana and her friends being caught in the act and sent to detention. If their actions have altered the present, Red and Chloe may need to return to the past in the next film. Suppose the two friends must return to fix their mistakes. In that case, they'll likely re-encounter Uliana, who will feel enraged and determined to get revenge on the people who placed Merlin on her radar, preventing her from tormenting the Academy as usual.
Happy to.
For all of them. I mean, flamingo feathers are like super rare.
Right?
The Descendants series has introduced a fascinating array of characters, each with their own unique stories and struggles. With the introduction of new characters like Maddox, Bridget, and Ella, the franchise continues to expand its vast fairy tale universe. With an entirely new cast of characters, excluding a few familiar faces, it's impossible to know where the franchise will go next. Hopefully, some of Descendants 4's supporting characters will reprise their roles in the next installment.
You know, this is the first song your mom and I ever danced to back when we were in school.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
Takes you to the moment in time that can give you what your heart wants most. If you really want a different life, Red,